Lost Ark is a free-to-play MMORPG that is releasing on Friday, February 11th. However, there are packs that you can buy starting at $15 and going up to $99 that'll net you things like exclusive pets, items, as well as the ability to play 3 days early. That means if you put in a little bit of cash, you can play on February 8th. This is going to be an isometric game, meaning that it's not quite top down, but you are going to control your character by pointing and clicking, as well as activating various abilities that you have at your disposal. The world that you're going to be exploring is vast and open, but it's not quite a pure open world, as there are paths that you have to take to get through each area. To get around the world more quickly, there is a fast travel system, so make sure to visit every triport that you pass so that way you can fast travel back when you need to. There's also going to be a sailing system that allows you to explore the ocean and reach different continents and islands. You're going to be able to collect 8 different ship types, which you can upgrade and customize, as well as hire a crew to man the ship and give it various bonuses. There's also a variety of activities that you can do while you're out on the open water, like fish and explore sunken ships. As you're traveling through the world, you're going to run into various enemies, including elite enemies and open world bosses that are going to take multiple people to take down. Like any MMO, you are going to be questing as you go about your journey. The game's going to offer you side quests, which will provide you with XP and materials that you need, but the main way to level is going to be going through the main story quest. This is because the main story quest is tailored, so that way when you finish the final main story quest, you're going to hit level 50 and have some decent gear to go with it. This is going to be the fastest way to reach level 50 and is a relatively short and easy process compared to most MMOs. Because it's easy, this is going to cater both to casual players as well as people that have more time to grind. If you have a lot of time to put into the game, you're actually going to benefit from leveling up multiple characters. Once you hit level 50, you're going to unlock the end game content, but you can also continue to progress all the way up to level 60, which is going to be a bit more of a grind. As far as progression goes, you're going to be able to unlock new and improved abilities, as well as being able to apply skill points to your abilities that give them unique buffs. This is a really cool system because essentially every ability that you have is going to have its own skill tree, and that's going to allow you to hone in the exact playstyle that you want. Alongside this, you're also going to have your traditional gear that you're going to collect, such as chest piece, helmets, and jewelry. These are going to provide you with various stats and buffs, and in the end game, getting better gear and raising your gear store will actually give you access to more difficult content. On top of your normal gear, you're also going to collect engravings, which are going to give you various buffs. These can come in the form of generic buffs such as attack and movement speed, or class-specific buffs that can completely alter the class's playstyle. As you're leveling up your various characters individually, you're also going to have a legacy level, which is an account-wide level. As this goes up, you're going to earn even more rewards to benefit you. Some items are going to be able to be traded across characters, which is going to allow you to feed your main character if you decide that you want to level up an alt. This gives a good incentive to try out the different classes, as it doesn't really hinder your main to go and try out alt classes. If you're someone who's into crafting, this game is going to offer you various life skills, which are basically professions. You're going to use tools of various qualities to complete tasks such as archaeology, fishing, mining, hunting, herbalism, and lumbering. You're going to do these things to collect different materials, and once you have all the materials that you need, you're going to be able to take them back to your stronghold. Your stronghold is your own island, which is going to offer you a lot of cool things, the first of which is going to be the ability to craft things such as food, potions, battle items, and crystals that you can use to upgrade your gear. You're not forced into taking part in crafting, as there is an auction house where you can buy and sell items, but if you are into crafting, it's there. Your stronghold isn't only good for crafting though, you can also take your characters and put them in training, which is going to allow them to gain passive XP without you needing to actually play them. You can also send out your ships on missions that will bring back XP and various goods. This is really nice as it really lowers the grind that you need to put into the game. On top of these things, you're also going to have merchants on your island, which you can buy from. Some items are actually only going to be obtainable through your stronghold merchants. You can also research and upgrade your stronghold, which is going to give you even more benefits, and if you're into customization, you can decorate the entire island exactly how you want to. As far as community goes, you are going to be able to have guilds in Lost Ark. Each guild is going to start out having only 30 slots, but you can increase that significantly by leveling up the guild. To level up the guild, your members are going to be doing tasks that the guild leader sets. On top of increasing your guild size, leveling is also going to allow you to expand your guild through research. The first big thing that you're going to unlock through researching is the guild shop. Your members are going to be able to earn bloodstones by donating to the guild or doing the various tasks, and then you could spend the bloodstones at the shop for various items. You're going to be able to create your own guild crest to represent your guild, as well as participate in guild versus guild PvP content, as well as guild versus environment content where your guild will take on different bosses. Your guild is also going to get rewarded for just participating in these events, but there is going to be a ranking system that ranks the guilds for each of these content styles, and it's going to grant extra rewards to the top guilds for that week. There are also going to be guild skills that you're going to be able to unlock using a special currency. These are going to provide various buffs for your group during guild vs guild and guild vs environment content. Once you hit the end game, there is various content for you to play through that's going to allow your character to progress even further. This is going to come in a couple different forms, the first of which is going to be Chaos Dungeons and Guardian Rage, which can each be done twice a day. Oftentimes, these events can be done solo. Chaos Dungeons are timed events where you fight back waves of enemies, and Guardian Raids are timed events where you and your group will be teleported to an area where you'll have to locate and defeat a boss. There are also going to be Abyss Dungeons, which work kind of like the traditional dungeons or expeditions that you'd play through in regular MMOs, where you and your group are going to be fighting different mobs and bosses. These definitely aren't going to be things that you can do solo, and you can do each Abyss Dungeon once a week. If you're looking for more solo content, there is a tower solo activity where you can climb up levels of a tower and fight enemies. The higher you go up the tower, the more difficult it's going to get, and the better rewards you're going to receive. And for the top end group content, there are also raids, which are going to be 8 and 16 player dungeons, and they're incredibly difficult. There's a bunch of other in-game content that you can get into, such as things that are going to require tickets, but besides that, there are also dailies and weeklies, as well as a bunch of open world events that can help you speed up your progression. And if you're one of the completionists out there, there are various collectible items that you can search for, and they're going to earn you different buffs. Even though there may seem like a lot to keep up with here, there are various mechanisms that are going to make it easier. One of these mechanisms is rest, which is going to give you more loot the next time you participate in Chaos Dungeons and Guardian Raids. That way, if you can't play for a couple days, you're not going to lose out very much. Moving over to my favorite aspect of games, looking at the PvP in Lost Ark, you are going to be able to participate in the guild versus guild PvP events, traditional duels, or the arena. The arena isn't necessarily in-game content because you only have to be level 6 to play it, and there is a system that allows you to be on even footing even if you're under-leveled and under-geared. One of my favorite things about Lost Ark is that the arena is purely skill versus skill without either player going into the fight with an advantage. Going into the arena, you're going to have a few options. The first of which is going to be a 3v3 deathmatch where the team with the most kills wins. There's also going to be a 3v3 elimination style mode where two players are sent into the arena to 1v1, and if one of them dies, they're eliminated and their teammate replaces them. You're going to enter where the fight left off, and the last team standing is going to win. There's also a 6-player free-for-all mode where whoever has the most kills wins. There are ranked and unranked matches, so you can decide whether you want to be sweaty or just play for fun. As far as the combat's going to play out in Lost Ark, each subclass is going to have its own primary attack and its own set of abilities. These abilities can be as simple as just doing damage, or they can provide CCs like slows, pushes, and knockdowns, or just straight up exhaust enemies so they can't attack you. There are also combo abilities that are going to require you to hit the ability button multiple times, or abilities that you can charge up for more damage. Some of these abilities require you to even stop holding the button at a specific time for added effects. On release, there's going to be 5 classes that are each going to branch into their own subclasses called advanced classes for a total of 15 to pick from. Classes aren't really going to take the traditional roles of tank, DPS, and support, but there are definitely classes that lean into roles like the Gun Lancer, which is better for tanking, and the Bard, which is better for supporting. Most of the classes that you're going to be picking from are going to have gender locks. However, there is going to be some that are going to allow you to pick whether you want to be male or female. Usually, these are going to have a lot of crossover, making them almost identical. For instance, the Striker and the War Dancer have very similar abilities, minus a few differences, but the Striker tends to be a little bit more offensive and the War Dancer is a bit more defensive. However, the differences are going to be pretty minimal. When you are picking which subclass you want to play, you are going to be able to test it out before you pick it and lock in permanently. Every subclass is going to have an identity which is unique to them and is sort of like an ultimate ability or a separate form. For instance, the Devil Hunter can swap between 3 different weapon types, whereas the Berserker is going to have Frenzy Mode, which is going to give short-term buffs and unique abilities that you can only use while you're in Frenzy Mode. Although there are only going to be 15 subclasses out of the gate, there are already 7 more subclasses that have been released outside the NA and EU, so if this is your first experience in the game, there's a lot more content coming in the future for you to look forward to. If you don't know which class you want to play, I made a video on every single class. You can check those out right here. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. My name is Marcus, and thanks for watching.